as I do every morning, right? I wake up, I scroll through the box scores from the previous night. I was looking at the NBA games. I missed two of them. I was looking at the MLB games. Obviously, the Brewers were off last night, so I was just scrolling through, and it happened to catch my eye that the San Diego Padres got a 14-4 win over the Texas Rangers, and former Brewer, a former guest of mine on a different program, Zach Davies, got the win. So always happy for Zach, right? Really good guy. But that's not what everybody's talking about today. Unfortunately, they are not talking about Zach Davies. As much as I'd like them to talk about Zach Davies, that's not who they're talking about. They're talking about Fernando Tatis Jr., one of the young stars in the league. And it's the eighth inning. Let's set the scene. Top of the eighth inning, 10-3 for the Padres. Bases are juiced, and Fernando Tatis Jr. steps up. Grand salami time, baby. Right? That's exciting. Make it 14-3 in the top of the eighth inning. 3-0 count was the other thing that kept popping up, right? It was a 3-0 count. You're up by 7 runs in the top of the eighth inning. And they don't want you to swing at it. He did. Took it out of the park, made it 14-3. But there was not a lot of happiness coming out of the Texas Rangers clubhouse. Here's what manager Chris Woodward had to say following the game last night.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of unwritten rules that are, constantly being challenged, I think, in today's game. So, I didn't like it personally. When you're up by 7 in the eighth inning, it's typically not a good time to swing 3-0. That's kind of, the way we were all kind of raised in the game. But, like I said, the norms are being challenged on a daily basis. So just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not right. But I don't think we liked it as a group.
When you're up 7 runs in the top of the eighth, you typically don't swing at a 3-0 pitch. Excuse me, Mr. Manager Woodward. Why the hell are we playing baseball then? If we can't swing the bat at the ball in the eighth inning, why are we here? Obviously, there's no fans here. We might as well pack up and go too. If we can't swing at the baseball, which, by the way, in case you're not familiar, is literally the point of the game. If we can't do that, why the hell are we still out on the field? It comes down to that for me. I don't understand why there's so much negative Nellies going at Fernando Tatis Jr. because he swung on a 3-0 pitch and hit a grand salami. The dude's leading the league in home runs. He's like 20 freaking years old. Unbelievable. It's fun. Baseball is supposed to be fun. This is what Zach Davies had to say about the grand slam in the eighth inning by his teammate Tatis.
A lot of guys talk about unwritten rules in baseball, but, you're in the heat of the moment. You're going to try and get your pitch as a hitter, and, he didn't miss. So you can't really fault him for that, in my opinion. Some guys feel differently, but everybody has their own opinion on it. And, make sure your 3-0 pitch is a little bit better. And I've been hit on 3-0, and homers have been hit off me, maybe not in the same situation, but that's something that everybody kind of has a little bit different opinion on.
Did you hear what the former Brewer, Davies, just said? Did you hear?
Make sure your 3-0 pitch is a little bit better.
Maybe throw your 3-0 pitch a little bit better. And to double down on that, ESPN's Jeff Passan, their MLB insider we all know and love, tweeted this morning as this just blew up all over the internet. If you don't want someone to swing on a 3-0 pitch, throw a good 3-0 pitch. He then doubled down by saying, quote, if you don't want someone to swing on a 3-0 pitch, don't start a plate appearance with 3 balls. These are my unwritten rules, end quote. Damn right, Jeff Passan. Damn right. If you don't want to be in the position, don't throw 3 balls to start your AB. How's that sound? I don't understand the whining and the complaining, especially coming out of the Texas Rangers clubhouse. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the most runs ever scored in a baseball game. It was almost 13 years ago to the date. August 22nd, 2007 is when it happened. The Texas Rangers posted a league record 30 runs that day in the first game of a doubleheader against the Baltimore Orioles. The final score of that game, the Texas Rangers 30, the Baltimore Orioles 3. The Texas Rangers, who are whining and complaining about how, Fernando Tatis Jr. hit a grand slam in the 8th. That's so dirty. He's breaking baseball's sacred unwritten rule. They scored 30 runs in a baseball game. They won by 27 runs in a baseball game almost 13 years ago to the date. So if you want to talk about hypocrisy, hilarity, and something that's just beautifully poetic, you could talk about the Texas Rangers losing 14-4 on Monday night to the San Diego Padres. Congratulations to Zach Davies on the win. And one more time, just for the people in the back, what should you do if you don't want a grand slam hit on you in the 8th, Zach Davies?
Make sure your 3-0 pitch is a little bit better.
Make sure your 3-0 pitch is a little bit better than right up the gut to baseball's brightest young star, or one of them, in Fernando Tatis Jr. as he smokes it outside, hits a grand salami, 14-4 your final between San Diego and Texas.